Hello and welcome back to Theatre Macabre. Last time out we were talking about Forbidden Psalm and in particular 28th Psalm, why I love it and how you play it, and how next time, as in this time, I'm just going to look at making my own warband. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I said in my video, which is prove to you that this game is the kitbashers wargame, and by that I mean I'm not gonna do the random rolling tables and then build something from those. I'm just gonna go and jam a bunch of models together, splurge them into one mess, and make some crap. and they're gonna be good, all right? They're actually gonna be good. I've already made them before recording this because that's how TV works. But my point is, I have splurged some real awesome, gruesome, weird shit together. One of them's just a big rat guy, because who doesn't love big rat guys? And maybe I'd like the idea that one maybe actually like changes throughout if we do a battle report or a campaign. So it's just gonna start as a big rat guy, and maybe by the end of the campaign it's just a puddle of blood that animates or something like that. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take these warband, we're gonna get the 28 Psalms, we're gonna figure out what is in these tables that we can give them, what works from feats, what works from floors. We might even just pop into Forbidden Psalm or Kills Sample Process or some of the other ones if it goes modern, because I've got a couple of modern weapons on them, so maybe that's gonna make more sense. So probably gonna be a far future thing. And we're gonna then make our warband together using the rules. We're gonna set up our character tables, and then I'm gonna show you whilst I'm doing this how I built these crazy characters. And then next week, we're gonna play some games. So I have got my book, I have got my dice. Salt Bay it. It's okay. And I've got my 5 models in front of me. I'm gonna show you through my models. We're gonna go through the book. We're gonna assign them some stats. We're gonna assign them some names. We're gonna give them some feats and some flaws. We're gonna figure out what their equipment is, and we're gonna make ourselves a damn warband, right? Now, in the background, you'll see some of how I made these wonderful things. Here, all here. And so, whilst we're doing that, let's just get down to business and start off with this one. This one I like to call Daisy. Daisy has her skeleton coming out of her neck. It's totally cool. She loves it. I love a good fashion choice like that. She's got a really cool dagger and a space pistol. Yeah, so that's Daisy. Daisy does not mess around, and we need to now allocate some stats for them. So looking at this, we've got 2 sort of takes we can have. +3, +1, 0, -3, or +2, +2, -1, -2. And we could use those to agility, presence, strength, and toughness. So let's get Daisy out here. Let's have a look at Daisy. Let's have a look at the book. Let's have a think. Agility. She's got no skeletal structure. She's all pure muscle. I think she can slink and slide around pretty well. So I'm going to go with agility. I know that having a skeletal structure sometimes helps in that scenario, but I'm gonna say in this case it's fine. Presence. It's about morale. Do you think Daisy gives a crap about anything? Do you think she needs? Does she look like someone who really is making morale checks? I don't think she's making morale checks. She ain't making morale checks. And if she is having to do them, she's succeeding with aplomb. And so we're gonna stick some good numbers in presence. I think we're going to stick some slightly good numbers in agility. Strength, lacking that sort of skeletal structure there, is now going to become her sort of worst enemy. She's like quite wasted away. She's like half dead. She's pretty much dead. So I'm going to say that her strength is low. And toughness, health, diseases, and poisons, I think it's too late for her. I think poisons and stuff like that, she's not going to mind. She does not care. It's not going to make a difference. She's already got her bones falling out of her body. I don't think a little poison's going to really hurt her day. So I think toughness isn't going to be too bad. So I'm going to go for the +2, +2, -1, -2. I'm going to go not so swingy, but we're going to have relatively decent agility, relatively decent presence. We're then going to put a strength down in that -2, and we're going to give a toughness of -1. I think that feels appropriate. for Daisy. So that means her health points is 8 minus toughness, well, plus toughness. She's got a -1, so she's going to have 7 hit points. It's not bad. And her strength being -2 means she can have 5, she can have 3 armor slots. She can have slots for equipment, which means I think we're going to be fine with a dagger and a pistol. We'll find out later if we need to adjust it. We'll come to it. Flaws. I've had a look through all these. I think they're great. Particularly was sort of in two minds between Dead Man Walking. Their death saves are always at least DR10 because they're already dead. But we're going to come on to that in a minute because I think the feat I want to go for kind of feels like it kind of goes in two ways with that. Or I could have weak bones. War member can only use one armor value of 1 or less. Or we're not going to have enough equipment slots, so it feels like I'm sort of cheating taking that. So the fact that they're already pretty much dead, I'm going to go with Dead Man Walking. Death saves are always at least DR10. I think that's great. It's normally DR6, by the way. And looking at feats, she's not a Marine, she's not zealous, she's not going to be a statue. She could be a rogue, but I think she wants to get up close. You know, she wants to get right in your face. She doesn't want to be hiding in the shadows. She wants to show off her looks. She wants to get that bone structure out, and she's an extrovert, literally. And so I think not a rogue. I kind of like the idea she's got some bombs and grenades, but again, she likes to get up close. Gambler, I don't think she's a gambler. Crows, I think were cool. I like having these crows that throw at people. But skulls. Skulls is what hit me, right? Because I was kind of in like, she's undead, cannot be healed by potions, is immune to disease and bleeding, and automatically passes death save. So I was kind of like, yes, I could go with that, but that removes my Dead Man Walking thing. And I kind of think she is undead, but I want her to be like, she could easily die. You know, she could easily, there's not a lot left. The bones are already falling out. It's time for Daisy to move on. Follow the light, Daisy. That kind of thing. So I thought we'll go with skulls. The war member can carry a skull on them at all time and use it as a makeshift weapon. I like the idea she can just take her head off and whack you with it. And I think that feels ultimate Daisy. Like, geez, Daisy, not again. Daisy. Anyway, we move on to equipment. She ain't got many slots. We've got 3 armor slots. We've got 3 slots, right? And we've got for equipment. And each one takes 1 equipment slot. I think we're just going to give her the dagger, and that's 1 point. We've got 50 quid to spend, but she's got 1 slot using for dagger. She's got 1 equipment slot for her pistol, and I think we'll just give her another. We'll just say she's got another dagger in there because she can throw it. She's got like a dagger, it'll do D4, and she can also throw it. And she's like throw 1, pull 1 out of her back. Maybe it's just a bone that she just rips out of herself to use as another one to just stab. And then she's got a pistol. And I think that's D6. That does a D6 damage. It's a reload on 6. It's ranged. Costs 11 quid. She's not spending a lot of money. She's frugal, if anything. And that's Daisy. Done. Right, let's move on to the next one. The next one, Harold. Yeah, I'm going for a naming structure here. Convention that works with me. Harold. This one. I think they all are in Thomas the Tank Engine. It's not meant to be on purpose. Harold is a werewolf, chimeric, centaur, skellybob. I'm going to say him and Daisy related. Not got many weapons. Now, I could make them sort of like just powerful beasts, but I like the idea that this guy's magic, or has got infused with some magical essence. So let's keep that in mind when we go and apportion our stats. Now, I feel that Harold here, much more swingy. Really swingy, because I want to give him lots of magical power. So presence, up the kibosh. We're going for 3, plus 3 on that. Then, I'm going to say agility low. Now, you might think, well, they've got 6 limbs. Geez, they should be super agile. But like, think about getting a centaur up a stairs. It's not easy, right? Immediately you think, oh, wow, that's going to be cumbersome. You know, you're a big animal. You've got a body and a body. So you've got an easy hit area. You know, you're going to be easily shot at. So I don't like the idea you can dodge very easily, because it's like, dude, I'm going this way, but my body's going that way. You know, there's going to be it's harder. It's hard. That's my thought process of it. So low agility. Or maybe medium. We'll stick with that. But strength, I feel pretty strong because they are a werewolf at the base part, but not completely strong because this upper torso bit is just a skelly bob with a bit of flesh on it, zombie character. So the strength decreases up here. So still, that's why I'm thinking the +1 in strength. Toughness, I'm going to say average because of the averaging out between these two parts. One of them super strong, one of them a werewolf, can take quite a lot, but anything silver's going to sort is not going to be great. And the undead bit though sort of brings that down because they're already dying from the top. So like they're kind of being like, I like the idea like that they've just been like planted on and it's kind of sustaining their undeath through this werewolf. And so then that's the sort of toughness bit. So I'm going to go with a -3 for agility, -3 all the way down. That's the low point. We're going to go for a 0 in toughness. We'll go for a +1 in strength. And then we'll go for that +3 in presence, super magical superstar, right? That means that health is just a flat 8 with that toughness of 0. It does mean with the strength of a +1 means we can actually have 6 equipment slots, but we're not going to bother with that, I don't think, because I think we're going to just stick. We might give him a bit of armor, just to sort of like account for the werewolfness, maybe. But now, that's what we're going for. Flaws. Xeno. I'm kind of in that, but I was going through them late. I kind of, but I'm going with Crazed. I'm going to go with Crazed because it's a skeleton zombie figure attached to the body of a werewolf in this concoction, and I just don't think they get along. I think they find it difficult to communicate between one another, and therefore, when they just get super stressed out and that morale is low and they fail that morale test, they go mad because they're just angry at each other. They're angry at themselves, dude, we need to sort out how we're gonna work together here. And that's why I'm gonna go with Crazed, which means if a war member fails their morale test, they become hostile to all the other war, they just take it out on everyone else. Your inner relationship problems, Harold, are not helping the party. If you could sort those out, we could work better together. Stop shooting us. So now we dealt with Harold's inner turmoil problems, let's give him some feats, okay? So, feats for Harold. Marine, not a Marine. Zealous, unpainted, maybe could be a statue. Rogue, probably not. Firepower bomb, Space Marine, quite like that. Gambler, I kind of like this as well. Mother of Crows, cool. Skulls, cool. Bibliotech, pick any feat from any Forbidden Psalm game they own. That we might have to do. Undead, Warband can be healed by potions but immune to disease, bleeding, and poison ordinarily passes death saves. It's undead, right? It's undead. They are undead. They, together with their powers of zombieism and werewolfness, gives them this ultimate ability to never be poisoned. And it feels kind of appropriate. I would like to go to the other Forbidden Sun books, but I'm kind of down with this one, so I'm going to go with undead. We might have to come back to this later. And then equipment. We're going to say no. I don't know if there's a flail. There's a flail. We could use that, but there's no whip. I might just see if there's one in the other books. Back in a minute. Right, in none of the books I could find any sort of reference to a whip. So I'm just going to use the flail stats. I know it's not quite the same, but it has got slinky bits on it. I know it's got like heaviness. So if we look at a flail here, it says that's a D8. It also says something like a sword is a D6. I'm trying to think like a spear does a D6. So I'm thinking that maybe a D8 is a bit heavy because like a flail is more metallic. So why don't we just say it's a D6? It's a D6 flail that has, critical, maybe causes bleeding. I like as an additional because it sort of like flays the skin a bit. So we're gonna go with that as it. And the equipment cost for a flail is 5. I was thinking with a D6 is 3, so why don't we say it's a 4 for the equipment cost? It's got 50 creds, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. So what we need to do next with Harold is give him Madrick, because he's gonna be our space wizard. And the Whiz-Bobs in this, they get to spend 5 creds to become a wizard, so we'll add that to our tally. We already spent 13 on Daisy. Daisy, I thought was frugal, but actually when you think about it, that's already taken a good slice of that pie. It's more than her allocated 10 each, and we're going to spend 4 on Harold for his sort of whip thing, so that's already been 5 plus what's 9, that means we're on 22. 22, and we're nearly halfway. We've already spent more than the allocated 20 that would be allocated each to these people, and we've got some big armor people coming up later, so interesting there. We'll see what we're going to get on. But then, for the magic, scrolls. We have to roll 2 random scrolls. So let's just do that now. What do I need? A D10. Where's my 10? Here. 10. Salt Bay. Whoop. It's, I didn't do it, Salt Bay. It's a 9. It's a 6. A 6. We've got Bleed Out. Caster, chooses a target. The target must roll a presence test, which means a DR12 on a presence die. If they fail, the target will take 1 HP of damage per turn until they're healed. Pretty cool. We got bleeding. Let's do the other one. Sorbet. 3, everybody. 3 is warp. The caster chooses 1 model and they have to move, roll a 1d6, and they move in the direction that the caster determines, in any direction they like, which is kind of cool. So they've got a little bit of warping magic and bleeding magic. Magic to bleed out people and warp them around the board. So a bit of more, actually, they've got some strength. They can go up and just hit them. I think we'll give them the ability, like an unarmed attack would be D4 with their things. They got their whips. They like give a good slapping to people, and they can move people about the board. A bit of like organized control, and maybe have a couple of people bleed out as and when needed. Fun. So that's 2 down. We've got Daisy and Harold. Ah! They're fine. Told you she was tough. Daisy and Harold. Happy, happy days. Now we're going to move on to the big guns, which means I'm kind of worried of our monetary value we've got here. So I'm going to leave our rat boy to the end because we want to save some money for them, but we also want to put some money into these dudes. So let's start with Trix. Trix is a lot of things to a lot of people. Very much in the same manner as Daisy. Got a cool blade, got a cool gun, got a cool skull head, and yeah, it's made it from some slangors, a little bit of green stuff added in there, some skulls from the skull box for the skull god from the throne, and a Jezzail gun, and a really nice sword from Rijikari model stuck on, and a couple of blades. They used to have a tail, that didn't work, and their gun goes into their back because it's powered by their back juices. Anyway, so we'll move on with Trix. Trix. What are we thinking for Trix? Trix is a big model. I think it's not clear here, but Trix, Slangor, right? It's a big model. Like they're bigger than a chimeric werebeast, right? So they're big. So, I don't know. Let's work through it. Presence, spellcasting, range attacks, morale. They've got a big gun. They need to be good at range attacks. So agility, I kind of like they're agile. Maybe they're not so strong. They are a bit slender, so maybe not hitting with as much power. That feels kind of right. Toughness, they seem slightly tough. I'm going to do a +2, +2, -1, -2, because I think they're pretty middling. I don't think they're amazing at everything, but I want them to be pretty good. I don't want them to have, they don't seem that swingy, if you know what I mean, as we'll come on to with later models again. So I'm going to go with that stat range. So I'm going to say maybe agility +2. I'm going to say agility +2, range +2. So agility +2, presence +2, because of that range weapon. They've got a frickin' Jezzail gun. They're going to be good at range. Strength, I'm going to say is a -1. And I'm going to say toughness low. I'm going to lower that. Oh, this is the problem with these things. This is where it comes hard, because I'm looking at this model and I'm thinking, they're freaking badass. They would be good at everything. You can't do that in the game. So I'm going to say -2 to toughness, -1 to strength. That's what we're going to go for. Yeah, they're sharpshooter. Oh, but I could make it swingy. There they are. No. Sticking with that. So -2 to toughness means they only got a 6 in health points. Whew. But the strength of -1 means they can have 4 equipment slots, so we're going to need to do that. But let's do floors and feats first. I'm going to say that they are... I'm going to say Trix is superstitious. Superstitious because Trix likes tricks. I came up with the name randomly. It feels now appropriately right that they would be sort of a gambler. Yes, that's where we're going to go. Superstitious, they will re-roll all 13s, and they're a gambler, which means they can re-roll dice. If they fail in the second roll, the result is considered a fumble. It works together quite nicely. So if it comes to 13, they have to re-roll it, and if they don't succeed, then they have to fumble. I like these a lot. This is good, going down in the notes. We're building a warband here. So that's there. Now we need to give them some equipment. Oh, ammo, shit. Ammo. I need to give that pistol 6 shots, which is £4. Daisy, costing me a fortune here. £4 on top of that means we're actually at 26 already with Daisy. Not happy. But anyway, well, they got a big gun. Space gun, revolver. I think it's more like two-handed. Now, I know they've got 2 weapons. We're going to make that thing a dagger. So we're just going to give them £1 to Trixie for the dagger. £1 for Trixie for the dagger. That makes sense to me. But Trix is going to have two-handed pulse rifle? Plasma? It's got to be range 50. I like that. Ranged plasma rifle. It's probably a rifle. AF2, range 5. AF2 means we can roll 2 dice to take the best result. Cyber, reload 4. It's D8. Feel like it should be higher than a D8 because it is like a super shotgun, like a super sniper rifle. Then again, how could we adjust that? Could make it to a pulse rifle. I don't think that it's going to work. Plasma, reload 2. I kind of like the fact that it's a reload 2, explode. No. We're just going to stick with rifle. It's a D8. It costs £25. We're running out of cash here. We're running out of cash. Oh dear. All right. We need to come back to this. Right, so I figured out a couple of things. Ammo, I don't need to do now because they actually get a free bit of ammo with each ranged weapon. So Daisy is down now to just 11 plus 1, which makes 12. She's got 12. We're going to give her one dagger. If she throws it, it's too late. If she runs out of ammo, it's too late. It's too bad. We're not going to give that weapon, this thing to Harold. He's just going to have magic for now, and that's just for show. That's how he casts his magic. Just goes, woo! Like this, and that's how he casts his magic. So that saves us now down to £17. This is a rifle. It's not two-handed. Technically, it's not two-handed, so we're going to make it a one-handed. It just looks cool, and maybe you can upgrade it to two-handed. So we're just going to say that is also just a revolver for £10. So that means we're on 17 plus 10, which makes 27 after 3 people. And I just knocked my dice over. Give me a second. Now we're on £27 and we've done 3. We're undervalued, if anything. So why don't we move on from that? That's all the equipment for Daisy, Trix, and Harold. Let's move on to our 4th and penultimate character, which is Grim. This is Grim. Grim has got a cool space sword here with a sensor at the end. Whatever's going on here is working well. Is working well for them. It's showing a lot of promise, a lot of armor. There's a face in there. There's a dead body face in there. Ah! Help me! And it's got jetpacks. I tried to make. The plan was to take some Tau and make them Grim. And I think I've done all right. I'm pretty proud of myself. There's a lot of different parts here. This is the super, what I would call ultimate jam session here, right? So we've got like the Tau, we've got some Slangor, we've got some Tyrannid bits, we've got some bits actually left over from Dark Angels, some more bits of Tau, a bit of Skaven top bits here. This is from obviously a Stormcast Eternal shield, and the head is an undead creature. I can't remember where I got it from. Yeah. So they've got jetpacks and armor. So that's going to be the focus of this one. So how are we going to apportion those stats? It's going to be interesting. I think this is going to be the hardest one to figure out because there's quite a lot going on. But I'm definitely saying high strength and high agility. I'm going to say low presence and low toughness. Now, this is the thing. Not as low a toughness. I don't think this is another non-swing. This is a non-swingy one. I think they've got a pretty good toughness. I'm going to say they've got pretty low presence. You know, they're not about range attacks. They're not very morale heavy because they've armored themselves up and they're happy with their armor. But if anyone gets behind there, they're just literally a skeleton with weird bits growing out of them, and they're all put together. I just don't think, and they're not very good at range attacks. They're going to be about getting up close with their sword and slashing. So we're going to say a +2 in strength. We're going to say a +2 in agility because they've got backpacks, they've got super fast legs, they've got tentacles, they're moving about. Definitely agile. +2, +2. We're going to say a -1 to the strength, and then we'll say a -2 to toughness. But let's do the feats and flaws. Flaws. I think, what did we go for? We went with Superstition Gambler for Trix. I actually am going to say no other Warband member will heal them for any reason. And I'm going to use something from my actual other game, which is the fact that they've got this super armor on, they can't be healed. You just can't get to them. You can't get through that armor to heal them, so they cannot be healed by any other member. They can heal themselves, but they can't be healed by someone else. I like that. Feats though, right. I think we need to go to the other books for this. And we'll be back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it one of the OG Forbidden Psalm feats, which is Intimidating Presence, because if you look at it, it's pretty intimidating. It's a fully armored necro tyrannid thing, and I like that, and I think it would scare people. So it can target any creature it sees within 6 inches, make a presence morale check. If it fails, it can tell it where it moves in one movement of its movement statistics, and it drops its weapon. I think that's a pretty cool feat for that one. So we've got the fact that it can't be healed by anyone else, and it scares the shit out of everyone. So we're happy with this. Now equipment. Now we've got 27, so we've got a bit of cash to play with. Gonna start with, well, see, I could go straight in with the heavy armor, but we're gonna end up with nothing for our person, for our rat. So I'm gonna say we start with medium, and if we get some more cred, we can upgrade that. They're never going to get to full plate, but they're going to get an AV of 2, which is good because they've got low health, so we're going to need that armor value. It's going to take off 2 from every time we get hit, any damage, and that's going to cost us 10. So that's going to take us up to 37. So we've still got 13 to play with. I want to leave some money for Marat Boy, but we need to give them at least one weapon, and it can't be a space sword. It's too expensive, so we'll just give them old school sword. Now I'd like it to be a bastard sword, but it's not, because we're just going to say 3. It's a D6 damage, but because it's got the sensor, it could make it a flail for 5. But let's just make it a sword for now, and we can always upgrade that. I'm also just going to suggest that their arms do a really good damage. I think I'm just making up these rules because of their little whippy things. I'm going to also give them an unarmed attack of D4 with their whippy arms, okay? So that's what we're going to go for. So that's another 13. So that takes us up, they're spending a bit of cash on them, but that's because they're getting the armor for 10, we're getting 3 on the sword, but it's worth it. And we still got 10 left for a rat boy. That is 4 down, only 1 to go, and we've got our rat boy. It's nothing crazy at the moment, okay? And I know they're only just painted, they're just like coated in black for now. But it's just, it's a rat ogre character. It's a Skaven model. I haven't done much to it. I think it looks pretty good on its own. Well done, GW. You did a great old jobby with that. That's not a good word to say. You've done a good job. Well done, GW. You're surprisingly good at model making. Anyhow, we'll move on to the first thing we're going to do, which is allocating stats. He's big. He's strong. He's powerful. He is a rat boy. He is the ultimate rat. What we're going to... Do we need a name for him? Just Rat Boy. It's just Rat Boy. That's his name. Agility. It's not going to be so agile. Presence, range attacks, morale, spell casting. I'm going to say strength and toughness. That is what we're going for. We're going to say +3 strength. Look at this brute. Powerful. I know he's got a gun, but we're going to stick with the power strength. I think we're also just going to say tough as nails, +1 for toughness. We're going to say a 0 for presence, because I want that gun to not be terrible. But agility based, -3. Can't run that fast. He's got tiny legs. Takes a while to get there, but when he gets there, he punches you in the face. Very hard. And so, feats and flaws. Well, the flaws are easy. He's a rat man. So, bring cheese with them must bring cheese with them in all scenarios. Fine, we'll just buy some cheese. Easily done. Feats, however, now. I think that they are a marine. Yeah, I do. They are trained, super intelligent rat boy. He has been trained in the art of war. He does not need to take an action to reload. That's what it says. If a weapon with the reload keyword, they reload for free. Totally. That guy is just slowly walking towards you, reloading his gun, happy days, bang, bang. Done. That's a rat boy. Right? Yeah. Agree? Good. Good. We're on board. We got 10 quid to spend on this person. Let's spend it wisely. We've got to buy cheese. That's 3 quid already. 3 quid down on cheese. We're going to have to spend that every time if we use it. But it's fine. It leaves us with 7 quid. Now, what can we get for £7? Now, ATM. I do have a gun. He has a gun at the moment in the picture, right? but we can't afford any guns for 7 quid. There are no guns for 7 quid. Bows cost 5. Now we could use those rules for bows and just take that, and that might work. But I also like the idea that it looks a bit like a grenade launcher. So what I'm gonna do is say it's that. That's his weapon. I think he has so we're just gonna say he has consumables and he's gonna have grenades. And we can buy 2 of those for 6 quid. So we've got 1 cheese for 3, and we're gonna end up with 9 quid spent on this guy. And he's gonna have 2 grenades. He's just gonna have to get to them, punch really hard, and shoot grenades at people. And eat some cheese if he needs it. He's got good toughness. He's got a toughness of +1, so he's got 9 hit points. I'd like that to be higher, but I think the strength is where we want to put this money. I don't really want to go into the +2/+2 minus. It's not worth it for that 1. I'm just gonna say that's it. That's our rat boy. That's our rat gang. We've ended up spending 49 of our 50 creds. We have 1 cred left. What can we buy for a cred? We'll just give him a dagger. We'll just give him a dagger. He's got a dagger. There you go. And that is all of it. We're all done. We've got a warband. Let's check out the results. So there was one more thing that we could do, which is give them a Dark Lord. Because, you know, you may look at these characters and go, they look like horrific creations, egged on by an evil lord from the beyond, eking out the idea of the ultimate god of pasturation for the cheese, or the wealth, or trying to gain the brown gold. But I think you're wrong if you think that. If you look at these characters, they are clearly just a ragtag bunch of guys and gals out to save the world and make what it as they can in this horrific existence. And so that's what they're gonna be. They're gonna be fighting evil. They are definitely the, whatever the Scooby-Doo people are called, the murder mystery gang, whatever, of this horrific 48th millennium that we're in this game, that we're going to be going. We're going in the future. So we're going to take on scenarios with this ragtag band of guys and gals, but a name. And how and why and what will we name them? Well, I don't know. Why don't you give me some names in the comments below? And next time, I'm going to take these guys and gals out into the world. We're going to play one of the scenarios in here, and we're going to fight them against some other little creatures and creations that I've made. I'll just give them some stats so we won't have to do a whole video like this again. And from there, we will play some games. So that is it until next time. But please do give us a like, give us a subscribe, put a little comment in the comments below. It always helps. And until we can welcome you again to the Theatre Macabre, you stay safe in the Underhive. Bye everyone.